What's up guys? So here we have the Honor Magic 4 Pro. And this is the first real flagship contender from the brand after quite some time. And there is a real premium flagship vibe about this phone, but of course with legit Google apps and services included as standard. I did take my time with this phone. There was no point dropping a video early just for the sake of views. No, I took my time with this one. I learnt everything about this phone, and today I bring you another dose of brutal honesty, my pros and cons of this phone after 30 days of usage, bringing you nothing but the whole truth. So Honor has gone all out with the hardware. The specs are pretty insane. You have a 6.81 inch OLED curved display. That's 120 Hz refresh, powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. This also has 8 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM and 256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage. There is also a 4600 mAh battery, and this phone actually supports 100 watt fast charging and also 100 watt wireless charging. And you've got legit IP68 certification and lots more. So looking at these specs, you can see that this phone is certainly trying to be a flagship contender, and also in the process undercutting the price of some other competing flagship models. But the real question is, what is this phone like after 30 days of usage? First of all, the phone feels very solid in build quality. You've got glass front and back and metal frame going all the way around. No doubt it does feel premium and solid in the hands, but aesthetically, I can't say the same. The design is certainly a subjective one. Some of you might like this, but I personally would have preferred a matte finish as opposed to that reflective mirror finish, which is also quite a heavy fingerprint magnet. But then you have that large round camera bump on the back, and you kind of end up with a clunky reflective design with a not so attractive camera bump. Now the phone actually weighs 218 grams and it's 9.15 millimeters in thickness. So in the hands you do feel the weight and thickness, and that combination gives it an overall big and clunky feel. So I do like the solid build quality, but the actual design is quite subjective. Next up, the OLED display, which I have certainly been enjoying. It's 6.81 inches in size and it does curve around the edges. So nice large screen. It supports 120 Hz refresh, and you do have automatic dynamic refresh rate with the option of selecting either 60, 90 or 120 Hz all the time. This phone also has another trick up its sleeve. You have smart resolution change. So the phone can automatically switch resolutions to conserve power, or you can switch off smart resolution and select a resolution of your choice. Now this phone also features 3D face unlock, so you can see the camera bump there. It has the front facing camera and the 3D TOF sensor right next to it. So you have a 3D face unlock, which is quite similar to Apple's Face ID, and there are not many Android phones out there that will give you this feature. Honor has included 3D face unlock, and I think it is great to have on an Android phone, and you can see it's unlocking the phone almost immediately. And you also have the option for in-display fingerprint sensor, which is equally fast and accurate. However, this is where things get a bit interesting. Honor is using Aluminosilicate glass, and going forward I'm just going to call it Alumi glass, as it's a real tongue twister. So Alumi glass is basically a type of glass that contains 20 to 40% aluminium oxide, and it's designed to be quite tough. It's 2 times better scratch resistance than Gorilla Glass 6, but Gorilla Glass 7 or Victus is 4 times better scratch resistant than Alumi glass. Also, Gorilla Glass Victus can survive 2-meter drops, but Alumi glass, which we have on this phone, will smash at just 0.8 meters. So overall toughness goes to Gorilla Glass Victus. If I'm buying a flagship at this price point, I would expect the best screen protection for the extra peace of mind. So whilst Alumi glass is quite scratch resistant, just be careful not to drop the Honor Magic 4 Pro. Now this phone also features IP68 certification, which only the top dog smartphone companies give you, like Apple, Samsung, Oppo and a few others. So big thumbs up to Honor for actually making this happen. IP68 certification, guys. Now the OS is Magic UI 6 on top of Android 12. User experience is actually quite snappy in operation, and so no complaints there, although you do get a whole bunch of unwanted bloatware apps included, which I feel is rather unnecessary. And you only get 2 years of ongoing Android updates. So that could be an issue for some, but on the positive side, I repeat myself, Google services are included. Now this phone has top tier flagship specifications and offers a blazing fast performance. No matter what you're doing on this phone, it's going to be blazing fast. It's powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which is a 4nm octa-core clocked at 3 GHz. And the benchmark results starting with Geekbench multi-core score of 3284 and single core score of 827. And in the Antutu benchmark test, we achieved 865K. So powerful performance for everyday use, and the Snapdragon chipset is also well optimized for gaming. And if we take a quick look at COD mobile graphics settings, you can see that the maximum graphics selectable is very high and the maximum frame rate is ultra. You're able to select very high and max at the same time. If we select ultra, the graphics will drop down to medium. If you select very high, the maximum frame rate is max. So I'm going to leave it on very high and max, and of course realistic. Let's have a quick gameplay test.
Captured Alpha. Enemy has C. We're capturing Bravo. Enemy contact. Contact with enemy. Captured Bravo. Targets in sight. We've taken the lead. Target down. Contact with enemy. Target's inside. Sentry gun ready for deployment. Contact with enemy. Target's inside. Enemy contact. Target's inside. Capturing C. Contact with enemy. Target's inside. Target down.
So as you guys just saw, a very good, smooth gaming experience. The Snapdragon chip definitely does not disappoint. But what about power efficiency? Well, the battery life does leave you a little underwhelmed. We have 4,600 milliamp hours of juice, but most competing flagships have taken that to 5,000 milliamp hours. So yes, it lasts a day with moderate usage, but I was achieving around 3.5 hours of screen on time, which is certainly not good, especially if you undertake more intensive tasks like gaming or even using that GPS. The screen on time will definitely drain much faster. However, the charging speeds do make up for the shortfalls experienced in battery life, with the 100-watt charger included in the box. So the Honor's SuperCharge technology will get you from 0 to 100% in around 35 minutes, which is amazing, or 15-minute top-up charge will get you just over 50% battery life. So not only do you get fast wired charging, but this phone also supports 100-watt wireless charging, but the special wireless charger needs to be bought separately. Now coming to the cameras, you have triple cameras on the back, 50 megapixel primary, 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 64 megapixel peri-tele sensor. Now maximum video recording is 4K 60, and you have electronic image stabilization. Unfortunately, optical image stabilization is not available in the primary sensor. But nevertheless, as you can see, the video capture is pretty decent and quite stabilized. You can also take some pretty decent looking photos with wide dynamic range, good colors, and nice level of detail in bright conditions. Zooming in also produces decent results. Even indoor shots generally looked good. So you are getting, no doubt, a powerful triple camera performance. Now other positives to mention, you have pretty good quality stereo speakers. The sound is also well balanced. So the bottom speaker and the top speaker have the same volume. Also, the speakers are loud. Probably one of the loudest smartphones we have tested recently. And this also supports DTS-X Ultra. Now, other features that I enjoyed, you have Type-C display out, so you can hook up to a monitor. I really like having that in my smartphone, so good job, Honor. You also have Google Widevine Level 1 certification, which means you do get to enjoy Netflix in Full HD with HDR. Now there is also another hidden surprise. We have an IR blaster on top, which we are quite used to seeing in Xiaomi phones, so another nice addition there. And finally, two more caveats that I'll quickly mention. There is no MicroSD card slot and no headphone jack. Now these two things are not really deal breakers, as most smartphones, most flagships don't have them anymore, but some people out there do prefer to have them, so I thought I should mention them anyway. So there you have it, guys. That was my honest opinion of the Honor Magic 4 Pro after 30 days of daily driving. Now you will no doubt experience an impressive performance throughout. Now that includes the display, the refresh rate, the chipset and the cameras. This is overall a very well made phone. Honor is definitely not messing around. They jam-packed this phone with nearly everything you could ask for. But of course, I have mentioned a few things that you do need to consider, but if you can look past them, then this could be the perfect smartphone for you. That is all for this video. Anything new I learned, or if I missed anything out, I will be sure to add that in the pinned comments, because sharing is caring. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.